Hello everybody, hope you can hear me. This is Brad. Welcome to the Bad Show, and what's going on with the Bad Show, you may be wondering. Well, I talked about it I think a little bit last time where Google changed some stuff with the way they consider streaming. It's something to do with I'm not even exactly sure how it works, but anyway, I said before I used Restream so that I could stream simultaneously from Twitch and used to be Mixer and YouTube all at the same time. Well, with Mixer gone and now I can't stream from YouTube through Restream, at least not the way it was, and I kind of don't feel like fooling with it. I've decided to instead just record the show and have it go live on Saturdays instead of doing it live, instead of doing a live show. So I kind of don't like that because I did like, doing the show live, but yeah, I'm just going to say the same thing. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's what's going to happen from now on. I'm going to try to hold off on recording these until Fridays so that I can come in, as fresh as possible. So if something comes out, so I'm recording this right now at just before 3 o'clock in the evening on Friday. So I think that's close enough. Anyway, so I guess let's jump into it. This past weekend, Fortnite celebrated their 3rd birthday with some missions on the map, which are always fun to have little stuff like that, where they had big cakes placed all over the map, and you could go eat, consume pieces of cake that would give you a little bit of health and a little bit of shield. One of the missions was to, dance in front of all the different cakes. And like I said, they were all over the map. And then there was just one of the missions was just play like 10 rounds or something like that. Eliminate 500 players or something. I can't remember exactly what the number was, but they were just simple little missions to unlock stuff, which is always nice. I mean, I'm not going to have a tremendous use for like the cake back bling or whatever. I like the emote where the cake comes down with a big candle and explodes in your face. That's nice. A good bit of experience points, some XP, which is always nice to get for free. But that's all I really got for that. That was fun. It's a really I didn't do the show last week, I think. But what happened was it's been a bit busy, very active moment for Fortnite the last several days. I guess we can take that to move right into like right now and I'll move on to it. Like, there's still the Rocket League thing that's going on. I'm in the middle of those. I've almost finished that. I haven't got any footage recorded for that yet, but I'm actually really enjoying Rocket League. Played it once yesterday, I think it was. It was either yesterday or the day before. See, that's where my head is. I can't remember. But it's a fun game. It's kind of chaotic, but it's fun. So we'll move on from that. There was another big thing that happened and for Fortnite, and that was the BTS concert. Now, I don't know very much about these guys other than they are basically today's equivalent to like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys from back in the day, the popular boy bands. But I just, I said, these guys are popular. They're really popular. They're gonna have the premiere of their little video in the Fortnite I can't remember what's it, Party Royale mode, I think that's what it's called. That's where, you don't go in with guns or anything, you just go in and watch the show. You can do little mini challenges and stuff that you can compete with other people there, your friends, see just for bragging rights, see who gets the highest score, but that's about it. I actually enjoyed watching it. It wasn't bad. The song they played, I can't remember, it's Dynamite. I didn't buy the emotes for their dances or whatever. I didn't get those. I'm not going to pretend to be a tremendous fan of these guys. But I actually did enjoy watching their video and listening to their song. It's a catchy little tune. And anybody who knows me knows what kind of music I listen to. I'm a hard rock metal guy, but I will listen to anything that, I think sounds good. And if it doesn't sound like crap, I'll give it a chance. Even if I don't necessarily, like, hey, I want to go to the next BTS concert. Even if I'm not on that level of appreciation for them, I think these guys are good at what they do. So I could see why, like, why they're such a sensation. And it was a fun little event. They ran the video, and of course, the first take, they ran it and then they did an immediate encore, like just a few seconds afterwards. And the first time I watched it, I was doing random dances that I just had already, bought in my emote pool or whatever. And the second time for the encore, I actually noticed that that the game gives you, I can't remember if it gave you a dance, but I do know there was something you could do with glow sticks, where I was dancing with glow sticks and everything. But that I don't actually own that one. That was exclusive for watching the show. But I what I managed to do was take both performances or both showings of the music video with me doing different things for each one, and I sort of clipped and pieced together both shows together. What I do is I go in the program, the video editor program I have, and the first thing I did is I took the audio from the first show and I detached the audio from the video. Then I went and clipped the second showing of the video and made sure I overlaid it perfectly, or as close to perfectly, with the first showing, so that the video would be in sync as it's jumping between the two different showings. And I put that up. Nobody's watched it on YouTube yet. It's got 0 views, so I'm disappointed in that for such a popular band. But I know why. I know it's hard to, when people are uploading millions of views for this one band onto YouTube. It's hard to be seen. But when I uploaded the Travis Scott event, the astronomical event, a few months back, that took a while to take off too. So it's not like it was on for a little while. Then people started noticing it, and then before long, it was one of my most it's gotten hundreds of views. But hopefully that'll happen with this. I think it's funny. Something I noticed today that happened a few days ago was I just happened to be looking in my email, and I was checking something. Sorry. I was checking my email, signing up for Guild Wars, because my brother wanted me to play that with him. And I saw a notice from YouTube about a copyright claim on the BTS video. I was like, that's okay. Like, I knew that was coming. Of course, I anticipated that the band or whoever owns the rights to that song was going to put a copyright notice on my video in case I try to monetize it so that the band gets some money. I mean, I get it. You expect that from, any time licensed music is involved with whatever you're doing. But the notice actually said that the copyright claim that was placed on my video was rescinded. Which I thought was weird, because I never, filed a dispute with that. I had no issue with them I had no issue with them doing a copyright notice on my video, because that's their song, So that's a really cool thing for, I don't know if the band set this up. I don't know if this was a deal with Fortnite or something, or with Epic, and or I don't know why that would happen, but that's a cool little thing to do for the fan base, because like kids or whoever their main audience is, which I figure it'll be kids. Um, the kids who really like this, who probably recorded themselves having fun going into the game, and hanging out and doing dance emotes with their friends, would probably really appreciate that they can upload their video of that show to YouTube and not have to worry about a strike for whatever reason. So that's nice, something that they don't have to do, and I would say not really expected to do. Just something nice. So that's always a nice thing just to see. So we'll move on from BTS, because like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of that style of music, but more to move more into actual game stuff. We got a new Marvel skin in the shop a few days ago in the form of Blade. So that was unexpected. I think that leaked rumor of Blade coming to Fortnite came around like 2 days or 2 or 3 days before it actually showed up in the shop. So that kind of took me by surprise. And of course, I wanted it. I got it. I've already got the video recorded for it too. My 5 minutes of Fortnite video recorded for Blade. Turns out, lucky enough, they're like I said before, I've talked about how a lot of the skins in this season are from are characters that appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and so it'll be easy for me to find music to put to these 5 minutes of Fortnite videos, because a lot of them have in that game in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, all the characters have their own theme songs. So, but the problem is Blade did not appear in Marvel vs. Capcom in any of this Marvel vs. Capcom games, at least that I'm aware. I don't think he's in Infinite. I'm pretty sure he's not in Infinite. So, turns out there was a PlayStation 1 Blade game, and I took some music from that for his. Just like I did for Silver Surfer. There was an old NES Silver Surfer game. I used a track from that for him. So there's ways to get creative when you really want to. But yeah, this was a really cool skin. His you can in the image here you can see he's got his coat on. You can choose to play without the coat, and his back bling is his pickaxe, sort of like Captain America with the shield. When he's not using it, the sword is in its sheath. When you do have the pickaxe out, his sword out, the sheath stays on his back, but you can see the sword is no longer in the sheath. So that's a really cool, effect. And I agree with something I heard somebody else say about it. This should have been what they did with Deadpool's katanas. They should have been his harvesting tool. I mean, it's a great back bling. I agree with that, the katanas. But they gave him some corny, cartoony harvesting tools, and I didn't buy those. I was like, you know what? I already have my favorite pickaxe to use with Deadpool is the giant fork and knife. So I'm not changing that. I think that's too funny to keep. That's always going to be his harvesting tool for me, at least for now. But yeah, unfortunately Blade is already out of the shop, so if you missed him, that's kind of bad. Maybe they'll bring all these skins like Silver Surfer and Blade back at the end of the season. I want to say they did that for. They brought Captain America back too. I don't know if I talked about that in the last show or not. For a little bit of time, Captain America was back in the shop too. I'm surprised that there's not being added comic panels for that that shared glider that they all have, where it comes with a screen that gives you a comic book illustration of each character for the Battle Pass. I'm surprised they didn't do one for Captain America and for Blade or any of the other characters. And I'm surprised they haven't given them all their own loading screens either. Captain America doesn't have any of that. He's got his own emote, but it's not, exclusive to him. But, those are sort of nitpicky things. But, yeah. And there's supposed to be even more skins coming. We know probably for sure Venom and Black Panther because their powers are in the game. They're the only two characters that we have, whose powers are in the game that we haven't seen show up yet. And then there's supposed rumors about Spider-Man. There's a rumor about Captain Marvel. I mean, maybe Daredevil, maybe Ghost Rider. So a bunch more characters could be showing up. I mean, that's going to hurt my money. It's going to hurt my wallet a good bit. But, it is what it is. It's business. And this is how they make money. But at least the skins do look really cool. And plus, I'm still planning on doing the Deadpool show. As long as I have access to these skins, I'm going to try to incorporate them in ways that I think will be funny and entertaining. I've had another idea for a show using these skins. Maybe less of a show, maybe more of like a moving comic. So that it's not quite as, maybe a little bit easier to film. I don't know. I'm still working the specifics out on that idea. But anyway, we'll move on. Yesterday was the start of week 6 of this season, which means Wolverine is finally here. So, you can now officially unlock the Wolverine skins, and apparently there's another skin. They added to the game a Logan skin, which is him out of his costume, where he's just wearing jeans and a white tank top. No mask. Which I like. I like that variety. You're like a casual, Logan. I kind of like that idea. But, yeah. How do you unlock the skin? What's the mission? The mission is to find Wolverine on the map. He's a boss character now, like Dr. Doom and Iron Man are. Wandering around Weeping Woods or out in the Slurpy Swamp somewhere. A very large amount of area he could possibly show up in. He's alone. He doesn't have minions to protect him, like Doom or Iron Man. But he doesn't need them. This guy is insane. And to unlock his skin, you must defeat him in the game. This is much easier said than done, as I am currently in the middle of an expedition that I plan to turn into a video for YouTube of me attempting to kill this guy so I can unlock his skin. It is incredibly hard to take this guy out. Twice I almost had him. The first time he was in the first time I found him yesterday, he was in the swamp. And I built a ramp. I built the ramp crooked so where, and this was by accident, I built the ramp up, and then instead of doing another piece of the ramp directly forward, I did one off to the side so they're not really connected. And I jumped up on the building, but because Wolverine can't jump, he can't connect. So he's going to run off the edge of the lowest part of the ramp. And he can't get up to the top of the building. So I was getting, a bunch of shots on him. I felt really good about it. I was like, I got to be getting close. I got to be getting close. And then somebody saw me from a distance and shot the roof I was standing on. And I fell through and right in front of Wolverine, and he took me out. I was so mad. I was like, dude, they had to have seen Wolverine over there. I think they were trying to sabotage me. Ah, man. Hey, that's what happens in this game. You have to be prepared to for that ambush, that sabotage, Unless you're playing with buddies, I don't. I play by myself. So, no, when you're going in there solo, there's nothing really you can do. The second time I found him was after the storm had already sort of come through that area, but I had like 1 or 2 healing bandages or whatever. So I was like, I'm going to try to this. And I had a sniper, and I was shooting him, and he noticed me, but he didn't chase after me. He stood still. And so I just kept shooting him. And then he went down. And then, of course, when these boss characters go down, they start crawling away. The problem is Wolverine is accurate to his comic book form, and he has an insane healing factor. So if you don't take him out within, I think it's maybe 5 seconds of him going down, he's back up on his feet again. That's crazy. That is insane. This guy is incredibly hard to defeat. And I have no idea how long it's going to take me to beat him. But I'm going to go back into the game a little bit from now and try again. So, look forward to that. That'll be fun. Let's see. What else? What else can we talk about? That's about it for the Fortnite talk. I'm almost done with the Battle Pass. I'm into Tony Stark stuff. I just unlocked the Tony Stark skin. I think I'm at level 93 or 94. So I'm almost there. I'm almost to unlocking, to being finished with the Battle Pass, besides the next few weeks of unlocking the alternate versions of, who was it? I know it's Doctor Doom and Mystique. I think I have the Storm. No. I think I haven't done the Storm. No, I did. I think. I may have confused myself. I know I've got the alternate version of She-Hulk and the now I don't remember. Oh, it's an alternate version of Wolverine. I think you just unlock him by beating the other stuff. I don't know. Anyway, that'll be fun to sit back and watch. I actually did very well playing Fortnite yesterday. Besides that, I won 3 different. I got 3 victory royales yesterday. That was crazy. 2 of them while I was trying to do my hunt for Wolverine. So that was a fun little, nice little side trophy there. Anyway, we've got the next reveal for Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. We already knew who it was going to be, but they officially revealed her. Scorpina is coming, and I vaguely remember this character from the original series. I think she was around for a little while. I'm not sure about that, though. I remember her being almost like she was Goldar's assistant or something. Because I always thought that she had the same color scheme as Goldar. Like, she's wearing gold and everything. Except she's more humanoid and she's not less, big gold monster. But, I think this is actually a cool looking character. She looks really good in this game. There's, I know I talked before about, the whole idea that maybe some of the Street Fighter characters might show up. I think that would be cool because there's already an established, connection between those worlds. So that would be interesting to see. I think there were some others I think some people actually brought up the fact that, Kamen Rider once showed up in a crossover. They called him Masked Rider. That was an interesting little thing. There was one episode where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles joined forces with the Rangers. That could be interesting. Imagine a fighting game where you've got all these Power Rangers characters and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter characters. So that would be a pretty unique roster. But anyway, I'm glad this game is still, adding characters. I kind of wish they would go back and add all the original Mighty Morphin Rangers, since this is sort of I feel like it's meant mostly to be. I mean, Power Rangers is so old as, a franchise that just this game itself existing is sort of a nostalgia grab. Of course, they're incorporating the newer stuff, but still, people like me who watched the old show when I was 6, 7, decades ago at this point, people are going to be interested in this stuff. I like that Scorpina's in this game and Goldar, of course, and I love that they added Zed to the game because Zed is a really cool character, and I don't know much about Power Rangers beyond that. Like I vaguely remember like anything beyond Zed. Like I remember Rita and Zed were the big bads. That was it. I know that Zed's dad showed up for a little bit, and I don't really remember much about him. And there was the Robot Army. I don't remember much about them either. I think you could put in. Who else would I put in this game? There was Ninjor. I think that was his name. This ninja guy who helped the Rangers out when they got their ninja powers in the at the end of like the whole thing with See, what happened was they had to like renew their powers and get new Zords. So after like the original Megazord was destroyed, the Dino Megazord. I think it's just I guess it's called the Dino Megazord. I thought it was just called just straight up Megazord because that was the first one. But anyway, after that, then they got their Thunder powers, where all of the dinosaur Zords were morphed into mythical creatures. So like the red Tyrannosaurus Zord became the red Dragon Zord. One of them became unicorns, griffins, phoenix, lion or sphinx. I think it was sphinx, maybe. Anyway. And then the white tiger Zord, the white tiger Zord was interesting, because there's like, it's going for these creatures that have like, or that there's some sort of mythology about them, and there's, sacredness, because white tigers are real, but they're there's a lot of symbolism with tigers in general, but white tigers especially. So that's fun. I learned the white tiger Zord actually does appear in this game if you pick the white Ranger version of that character in the game. That will show up, I think, instead of the Dragon Zord. So that's cool. But yeah, Ninjor was a character who, he was blue, he carried a samurai sword, he looked like a big, samurai kind of character. He rode a Nimbus cloud, but he also had like a mega mode or something, a super mode, where he would become more samurai-like, and he would grow to the size of the Megazord. So he was very helpful backup. But yeah, I think they could put him in the game. That would be fun. He had a really funny voice. He reminded me somewhat of what's his name there? Oh, he's just like Marvin Martian. So that was a interesting character. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad to see him in there. There was some like cop ranger or something at one time. I know that's a whole season now, where they're basically like a police force. But I remember something to do. I think it was during the Turbo season. It was some kind of other character. I can't remember. Oh, I hate when you hear it. And I don't feel like going and digging it up, because honestly, it's not that important. But anyway, we can move on from Scorpina. Hopefully, people are excited about that. I think she looks great. I don't have much of the DLC in that game, though. I need to play more of it. Let's move on. This happened last week. I don't really know much about it other than, a new Virtua Fighter is apparently coming from Sega. I don't really know what else to say. Apparently, I don't know much about Virtua Fighter. Like, I've seen some episodes of like the anime with Akira. I don't remember, I know that Akira shows up in his original form in Smash Bros. As a trophy. An assist trophy. But I don't know. I don't really know much about this or some of the other characters. I'd have to really look into that. But it did get a lot of attention. So, there's that. Enjoy that piece of news. But here's something I do know a little bit about. The game that has taken the world by storm right now went from apparently just a few months ago had no active users whatsoever on its servers to having over 16 million at a time. That is, of course, Among Us. This is a very funny game, a very fun but simple game. Everybody's playing it now. It's free on mobile if you don't want to pay the $5 for the PC version. If you get the PC version, though, I think you can get all these other skins and stuff. But this is a very fun game. If you, I think I talked about this last time. This and Fall Guys. But playing it is really fun. It's always sort of disappointing when you don't get the imposter, because I like playing as the imposter, but I almost always never get it. And when I'm not the imposter, when I'm just a crewmate, I focus mostly on doing the tasks and not, paying attention around me. So I need to get better at paying attention to who's walking by me and who's not, But this is basically a game of lying. It's just who's the best liar. Now, I will say that I think that playing in a group of people who know each other is probably a better experience than playing randomly, because, with your buddies, you're more likely to cut up, and they're less likely to, duck out of a game early. Because when I was playing, just in random online matches, you would have 2 or 3 people in a game just leave. Somebody was about to be voted off. Somebody was called out as being, suspicious, and they would just leave the game. And the games wouldn't last very long. So, that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, this is a really fun game. If you haven't played it, go play it. News had been out that the team was working on a sequel game, Among Us 2, because of the sudden uptick in interest in it. But they later changed their mind and decided they weren't going to do a sequel game. Instead, they were going to go back into the first game's, the original game's code, and try to optimize it and make it better and add stuff to the base game instead of doing a whole new sequel. Now, they said this is probably much more difficult than just starting from scratch and building a second game, but they think that this is going to be better for people and that fans will like this option more. So, I commend them for that. If they think that this is, if they're taking if they're knowingly taking the more difficult choice of just deciding to try to fix this first game and make it even more enjoyable than people already like it, instead of just going, okay, well, here's a whole nother game you got to buy or download or whatever, they're just going to make this one better. Good. So I'm curious to see what will happen, how this game will change, what all will be added. So that's cool. Again, go check out this game if you haven't. A little minor thing here to talk about. The Ninjala Sonic collab has been revealed. This is again, I think this is going to be something I talked about last week. There it is. Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Eggman costumes. While as cool as this is, that you can kind of dress like them, it's not them. So to me, it's just not quite the same. If you could play as Sonic in this game, that would be interesting. But it's not. You're just wearing costumes, merch, a fancy t-shirt and hat with and shoes. So to me, it's a cool thing, but I'm not that excited about it. Now, that's not to say you couldn't be excited about it if you love Sonic the Hedgehog, but yeah, it's cool, but not enough, in my opinion, for me to want to buy it. So there it is. Hope you like that. I haven't played Ninjala in a little bit. It's a fun game. I've got some videos of it, though, that I'm trying to get online at some point. One of them just went live this week. So there's you some Ninjala love. We had a game leak right before it went up on the Nintendo eShop. Kirby Fighters 2 is a thing now. So if you love Kirby, Here's you a sort of a Smash Brothers like game that features just Kirby characters, mostly just Kirby, and various incarnations of himself. So there it is, yeah. I saw some folks complaining, and I kind of agree with this. Like, everybody's like, "Yeah, this would be kind of a fun game to drop a few bucks on, but it's $20. I don't think I want this for $20." And yeah, like this seems like a fun little gimmicky game. You know, nothing wrong with it existing, but I don't think I'm gonna drop $20 on a Kirby fighting game. I would play it, but I don't know. See, but you know, nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with there being more Kirby stuff. I think a lot of Kirby fans have been hungry for something. So, here's you something, at least. But, yeah, there's your Kirby Smash. Super Smash Kirby, if you will. And, of course, we got to close out with the biggest news from yesterday. Because we didn't talk about... maybe I should talk about this, because I've still got a good while. Hold on, let me do some magic here. We will resume shortly. But anyway, while I sit here and try to work this, hold on, where did that image I just downloaded go? Uh-oh. Can't find it. Anyway, let me ramble while I wait. Anyway, we got a little bit more information coming from something that's already been revealed. It's not new, so on a certain game series that is pretty popular right now, I would say. Hang on just a second. I found a good picture to use. There it is. We got the official reveal. Not reveal. Some additional information on Pokemon's next DLC. As I move it back into place. For the Crown Tundra, where we see the official unveiling of Galarian Slowking, where the Shelter is still clamped to the Slowpoke's head like it was before, only instead of backwards, it's forwards, and the Shelter's eyes become Slowpoke's eyes. I think it's a psychic ghost type. That's what it seemed to suggest to me. Don't hold me to that, because I think psychic poison is the type Galarian Slowbro is. But yeah, we're gonna get a whole bunch of Pokemon added to this in this next pack to the game's data. Remember the whole controversy there, where a lot of the Pokemon were not in the game's files, so you couldn't use them. Well, the last expansion added a bunch, and now this one's going to add even more, which leaves me wondering if there's going to be another expansion in the future which will patch in the remaining Pokemon, maybe 2 more expansions, because at this point I am certain every Pokemon will be playable in this game. Otherwise they wouldn't be adding hundreds of them to these expansions. I don't know why you would go that far to just to stop short of the finish line, especially considering the whole thing about where they said that Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon pushed the 3DS to its limit, and that they adding all the Pokemon in all their forms to the 3DS on a 3DS cartridge was literally like, it almost didn't happen as in the way they worded it. It took a lot of data to put that many Pokemon in this. But see, the thing is, the Switch now is their current top console. The 3DS, Sun and Moon, were the second generation on that console. So of course they maxed out its potential with the second wave of Pokemon that they added. Of course. You know, so there's no excuse at this point that their top console shouldn't be able to handle this if they've never had that trouble before, because all of these consoles are supposed to be, more powerful than the previous one. Plus, DLC is always a thing. Okay, you couldn't put it on the base game. You couldn't put all these Pokemon in the base game. Okay, fine. Do DLC. Do updates for the game data. Like, that's all people asked for. I mean, I know some people went way too far with the criticism of it, but I mean, they should never have pitched that, or pitched the idea that it was almost impossible to do, because it's always been the norm. People have always expected that all the Pokemon were at least playable in these games. Sure, the Gen 2 to Gen 3 cut, was rough, but you could still trade some of those Pokemon back and forth. But anyway, you can get it, according to the reveal or the announcement thing for the Crown Tundra, all available legendary Pokemon from any previous game will be able to be found in this expansion. So, all the previous Dialga, Palkia, Groudon, Kyogre, Reshiram, Zekrom, Yveltal, Xerneas, all of those Pokemon will be available in, this game to catch. I think maybe even Solgaleo and Lunala might show up as well. Zygarde, Giratina, Rayquaza, all of these Pokemon will be able to be captured. So that is exciting, I'm sure, for people. And it will be in like a gauntlet sort of way where you go through and battle a bunch of Gigantamax Pokemon. You can only use rentals. You can only use rentals for these rental Pokemon. Can't use your own. But if you catch the Gigantamax Pokemon, you can swap it out. Or if you catch the Dynamax Pokemon on the way to the Legend, you can swap them out. Something like that. So that's interesting. It presents a new challenge. So that's good. But yeah. And of course, the Reggies are apparently going to be a very big part of this. The weird Galarian versions of the Kanto bird trio, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, are going to be featured. And then there's that new Mystic Pokemon that you can see is in the likeness behind the Crown Tundra there. I can't remember what kind it is. The King Pokemon, I can't remember what he's called. That'll be interesting. I still need to play through the first expansion. I didn't do that. Been too busy playing other stuff. But, yeah. So, there we go. Pokemon news again. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to talk about. Wrap the show up with. And that is yesterday's big reveal of the next Super Smash Bros. Character. Last week, an advertisement, and I guess it was one of these 7-Elevens again in Japan, for a display, said that the next character was coming, was going to be announced soon, and that display was only going to be up through October 4th. So, as we know from the past, that means that a announcement is due soon. And so I thought, of course, this week was going to be the week, and ends up I was right. Which I'm not saying that I was the only one to say that either. That just made the most sense to me. Like, okay, so it's new. This display is going to be taken down on the 4th or after the 4th. So the new character will be revealed before then. So makes sense that it would be this week. So because the 4th's on Sunday. And here we are. The reveal shows Minecraft Steve, the meme, the dream, and in some cases, the fear has been added to Super Smash Bros., joining Min Min from ARMS in the second Fighters Pass. And it broke Twitter. Twitter was down due to the reactions for this. So, let me say first and foremost that I have very, very little experience with Minecraft. I have not actually sat down and played very much of it. I do. This announcement means now I'm going to have to go check it out. Unfortunately, I don't hate this, but to me, this is a character. He's just moving blocks. There's no personality. He basically is like an avatar. And he doesn't speak, no sound. It's basically a 3D version of Game & Watch, in a way. Now, I understand why he's been added to the game. And some people have speculated that maybe he's in the game because Microsoft agreed to let Banjo and Kazooie be in the game from last year. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But even so, I understand why. I did not know this, but that apparently Minecraft is the best-selling video game in the world. I thought that was either Smash or Fortnite, to be honest. But maybe that's like Smash is the top. I know Smash is the top-selling fighting game in history. Fortnite, I don't know exactly what its stats are. I do know it's still super popular. But apparently Minecraft is the top-selling game in the world. And I don't doubt that at all. But, so it makes sense. And of course, as much as like I saw the different takes from like Max and Simmons from, Yo Video Games and a couple of other people from like that I follow on Twitter, saying, we can't all expect Smash to just go back in time and pick like obscure characters that we remember from when we were kids. It's got to appeal to today's kids too. And of course, this Steve character is going to be very, very popular with kids. Now also, he's got some alts which serve like the Bowser Jr. and the Hero. And I guess that's even easier to do because they don't have voices. So it's literally just a cosmetic change. Or a visual change. You get, what was her name? Alex is the female avatar. I guess Steve and Alex are the generic female avatars for Minecraft. I don't really know much about this game. But then you also get the zombie. You can play as the zombie from the game, which has the same clothes as Steve, except green skin. And you can play as an Enderman, which is like the in the lair of the final boss of that game. I can't remember what the area is called. The End Zone or something like that. The Ender Zone or something like that. I can't remember. The Ender Realm, where the final boss of the game is the Ender Dragon. So, you can play as 4 different versions of characters from that game. There's he's apparently and Sakurai has a way of educating people while explaining things, and he made it very clear, which is funny. He made it very clear that this was definitely something Nintendo wanted to do. My guess is that Microsoft was like, we want Steve in Smash, and Nintendo was like, we will pitch this to Sakurai. We will make sure we will. And I got the sense that maybe Sakurai is not too terribly in love with this character on a personal level, but he did post some screenshots of his own personal world within Minecraft that he's been playing, because he said he'd been playing with it. And he said, I don't really like to build much. And then you see these fantastic sculptures that he's apparently made in the background of these screenshots. So I don't know. Sakurai is probably just trolling everybody. But he said they had to go back and rework all of their stages so that Steve's building mechanic can work on every stage. And that's crazy. I mean, he was being a little tongue-in-cheek and he was joking around, but he's letting us know right off the bat, this was hard work. So we had to literally go back and work like over 100 stages to make sure this building mechanic can be applied to them all. And that's dedication. And he said when Nintendo came up and they told him that, he was kind of like, wait a minute, you want this guy in this game? Don't you know what kind of game this is? Like, it's literally a game where you warp the map yourself. You alter the playing map, the playing field that you're, walking on at any time. You can control that. And he said when they asked him if he thought he could surely work it into the game, he said, "Of course I can," and it looks like he has. So it'll be interesting to see how this character works. It'll definitely be a unique character. As he's made, as Sakurai has said, a lot of these DLC characters are coming with some interesting new features, that all the characters will play in some way differently than the previous ones so that they all feel more unique. So that's cool. Now, who did I think it was going to be? I thought it was either going to be Crash Bandicoot, because the new game, Crash 4, It's About Time, is a big talk right now. Or Geno. I thought maybe it would be Geno because of that leaked audio that was going around a while back. Or I thought, based on the director of the game for No More Heroes, where he's usually very vocal about his desire to have Travis touchdown in Smash, apparently recently was asked about it and he said, what was it? How did he say it? A strong no comment or a hard no comment or something to that effect. But he basically said he wouldn't talk about it. And that's always like legal talk. Not always, but it's usually a sign of, it's usually legal talk for, I've made a deal with the people we are discussing, and it would be a violation of a non-disclosure agreement to weigh in on this specifically. But that answer has always been interpreted as yes, a deal has been made. We cannot discuss it. I cannot tell you that it has happened, and I cannot tell you that it has not happened, because that would be acknowledging it, and therefore, I'm just going to say no comment. It's one of those fancy talk around the question answers. It's the thing politicians do. So there you go. I still am fully confident that Travis will be in this battle pass, in this Fighters Pass. Maybe it wasn't the first one and it's not the second one. We got 4 more spaces left. I still anticipate it being Travis. I still think that the Astral Chain twins are going to show up. I still think that's a very strong possibility. Everyone else, I don't know. I could keep saying I want Sora, I want Chun-Li, I want Impa, even though I would rather it be the first Hyrule Warriors Impa than the second one, just because I think she looks cooler and more unique. But, who knows at this point? Because I literally told somebody the day before, I was set on it's either going to be Travis, Geno, or Crash. But I kind of hoped that it would be somebody else just for the sake of the surprise. And this was certainly a surprise. This was not what I was expecting. So I got what I wanted, in a weird sort of didn't get what I wanted way. But yeah, and to speak on that, I do think that anybody who's apparently some people were saying online, at least from what I saw, some people were saying they were going to stop playing Smash because of this. Why? Why would you say that? That's stupid. I'm going to stop playing Smash because they added Steve in the game. The entire last Battle Pass is there's so many good characters in that. Joker, I don't know much about Persona, but Joker's a cool character. Then you got 4 different Dragon Quest protagonists. Banjo-Kazooie. Terry Bogard, and even if you don't care much for Byleth, even forget Byleth. Like, okay, leave or take Byleth. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That battle pass was great. That fighter's pass was great. That fighter's pass was great. And that even if you leave Byleth in it. Because you can't tell me that having those Dragon Quest characters and Joker, even though I don't know much about Joker, Banjo and Terry, having all those characters in the game isn't, great. And this battle pass, we're already seeing, like Steve is a big deal. He's not an interesting character, but that's a big deal for Nintendo and for Minecraft, for Smash, and for Microsoft, and it's a big deal for the fans, even if you don't personally like it. I'm getting tongue-tied, but and then of course Min Min's a fun addition to the game. So I think this is gonna be a wild card battle pass, because as I'm remembering, I think Sakurai did say that this was going to be mostly characters that Nintendo wanted in the game. So who knows? I don't think these are bad choices, even though, Steve is not a character I would have put in the game if it was up to me. But he belongs in the game. As was pointed out yesterday, Smash Bros. Is a celebration of games and gaming as a whole. And Minecraft is a giant game franchise that stormed the world. It took the world over. You can see tons of games inspired by this one in these blocky sort of games. It's hard to deny that this is a very influential game, and it deserves its spot on a roster that is about celebrating video games. So, again, I said this before, it is what it is. So, again, we got 4 more characters. It's far from over. So if this is disappointing for you, if you're not excited about this, wait about 3-4 more months and you'll get another character. Anyway, the demonstration of this character and his mechanics will happen tomorrow. Probably won't watch that. Not super interested in this character. But I am going to do a playthrough of his classic mode and his spirit board, because all these characters are getting that. I will play through those like I always have for the last several characters. So look forward to that. Hope you're excited about that. And that's going to be it for this episode. There won't be any Do the Mario. I don't think. No Do the Mario, because the show's not live. So fortunately, that's just how it is. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. And follow me on Twitter. If you want to donate to the channel, donate me on Ko-fi or through the direct link to PayPal. That's always appreciated. Look forward to the stuff I got coming in the channel. And we'll see you later.